Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Prachachanaranjana Yashodanandana Prachachanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Ajaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Prachachananjana Yashodanandana Prachachananjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, Kantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Go Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 11, Calculation of Time from the Atom, Text 41. Dasutara dike yatra pravista paramanuvat lakshate antagatas chanye kotisho hi andarasaya dasutara dike yatra pravista paramanuvat lakshate antagatas chanye kotisho hi andarasaya dasotaratike yatra pravista paramanuvat lakshate antagatas chanye kotisho ayanda irasaya. Please chant. Dasuttadadike, with 10 times greater thickness. Yatra, in which Pravistaha, entered. Paramanuvat, like atoms. Lakshyate, it appears. It's in brackets, the mass of universes. Antagataha, come together. Cha, and. Anye, in the other. Kotishaha, clustered. He, for. Andarashayaha, huge combination of universes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The layers of elements covering the universes are each 10 times thicker than the one before. And all the universes clustered together appear like atoms in a huge combination. Purport. The coverings of the universe are also constituted of the elements of earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and each is 10 times thicker than the one before. The first covering of the universe is earth, and it is 10 times thicker than the universe itself. If the universe is 4 billion miles in size, then the size of the earthly covering of the universe is 4 billion times 10. The covering of water is 10 times greater than the earthly covering. The covering of fire is 10 times greater than the watery covering. The covering of air is 10 times greater than that of fire. The covering of the ether is 10 times greater than that of air, and so on. The universe within the coverings of matter appears to be like an atom in comparison to the coverings, and the number of universes is unknown, even to those who can estimate the coverings of the universes. Om Gyan Tivinandasya Gyanala Shalakya Chakshunitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Garamayam Dadati Swavarantikam Yata 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 Yasmin Duskurum Sukurum Bhavet Visvate Vipyatim Shat Shri Chaitanya Nanamitam Vanchakalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavnibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gauda Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We're completely trapped. Who says we're free? In the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada makes a statement that anyone who thinks they are free is insane. How many times we think we're free? I am free to do what I want. No one can tell me what to do. But when you get hungry, you have to run to food. When you're tired, you have to sleep. You're getting pushed, you're being trapped in so many ways. It's an illusion to think that you're free. And the Bhagavatam is revealing, if you're so stubborn, you're really trapped now with these coverings of the universe. The universe is 4 billion miles in diameter. And then each covering of the 8 elements of earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego is 10 times and 10 times and 10 times. What hope do we have? The only hope we have is the mercy of the Lord. And He's shown us many times. That's why He appears. Parachara saranam vinasyatu duskritam dhamma samstapanataya samvamami yuge yuge. To deliver the devotees, kill the demons, and establish Dharma. Dharma means the way to get out of here. Sanatan Dharma. And what is that Sanatan Dharma? It's bhakti, it's devotional service. Savapari vinimuktam tatpanitwena nimamalam. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevamam Bhakti Uchite. Bhakti is that activity where we use the senses in the service of the master of the senses, of Rishikesh, of Krishna. He's known as Govinda, the one who gives pleasure to the senses. He's our worshipful Lord. By doing that, you get free from all the trappings, all the labels. I'm man, I'm a woman, I'm black, I'm white, I'm rich and poor, I'm young and old. These are all the trappings, the false misconceptions that keep us in this illusion. I'm from Earth, I'm from Mars. So many misconceptions we have. And on top of that, every action we do within illusion has a reaction that keeps us here. In the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we usually hear karma, it's a common word. You know, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. But the Bhagavad Gita says the real meaning of karma. Karma is those activities pertaining to the development of material bodies. So if you're doing an action that sets up your next life, then that's karma. Whether it's good or bad, it's bad, because you get another birth. You have to stay within this atom of a universe surrounded by so many coverings. And there's so many universes. Mahavishnu is lying on the causal ocean. From his breathing, they emanate, they're created. When he breathes in, they're destroyed. The breath, or the life of this universe, 311 trillion, 40 billion years. That's just for Mahavishnu. How insignificant are we? But there is a way out, like I said, the mercy of the Lord. So there is a demonstration done by Gopakumar. So there's a beautiful book called Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sanatana Goswami. It's been translated, and the commentary by Sanatana Goswami has been beautifully presented by Gopi Puranadana Prabhu. And in the Bhagavatam itself, it doesn't present the nature of these layers. When I first heard about these layers that are covered in the universe, so okay, there's a layer of earth. So I was thinking like it's just like a big wall of dirt, you know, or something. But actually, there's deities there, there's activities there. So let's talk about Gopakumar. So the Brihad Bhagavatamrita has two stories. There's Narada Muni in the beginning, and he's trying to find the best devotee. And he ends up with this Brahmana. He says, no, the Brahmana says, no, I'm not the best devotee. He's all humble. So he said, no, the king. He's engaging so many people in service of the Lord. He's the best devotee. The king says, no, it's Indra. He's a very pure soul. He's more greater than me. Go see Indra. Indra says, no, it's not me. So everyone's just pushing on. No, it's Prahlad. It's Lord Shiva. No, it's Hanuman. No, it's the Pandavas. And no, it's not us, it's the Yadavas. And the Yadav says, no, it's not us, it's Uddhava. And Uddhava says, no, not me. I went to Vrindavan. These gopis, these Brajbasis are amazing. So Narada Muni is following that line to find the best devotee. Eventually we come to Srimati Radharani. So the second part is Gopakumar. He's a cowherd boy from Govardhana. And he has a spiritual master who gives him the Gopal mantra. He says, you chant this mantra and you get everything you want. So he chants his mantra and he starts going up through the universe. So he's going through like the high planetary systems. He ends up with Indra Loka, and he even becomes Indra. Indra's like, I got something to do, can you take over? And then he chants, he's like, and Indra has a beautiful form of the Lord that he worships there. So he's worshipping this form of the Lord. But he has this, his heart's desire is this form of Madan Gopal. Madan means Cupid. And Gopal is Gopal, protector of the cows. So he eventually comes to Brahmaloka. And Lord Brahma, he somehow is not able to do his service So then he puts Gopkumar in charge. Okay, you become Brahma. And then there's a big core assembly, and all the scriptures personified are there. The Upanishads, the Itihasas, the Puranas. And they're all saying who's the best. And the Upanishads are trying to establish impersonal Brahman is supreme. And many of the other Puranas, they walk out. They're like, no, I can't handle this, you know. And other people say, no, don't go away, please stay, like this. But then the Bhakti Sastri, the Srimad Bhagavatam appears and establishes that Krishna, the personal form, is the supreme person. Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. And the Lord Brahma has this beautiful form of the Lord, a 1,000-arm form of the Lord there that he worships. So he just was engaged in this worship, but still he wanted Madan Gopal. So the Lord tells him, okay, I can see your desire. You go to Vrindavan. So he goes back to Vrindavan, and he doesn't know what to do. He finds his spiritual master. His spiritual master is in ecstasy. He's in another world. It's said that he's not on this bodily concept. In his ecstatic meditation, he's covered in saliva and mucus. So he bathes himself and he says, oh, my disciple, you've come. How's your chanting? You could say. And he says, yes, I've been to Brahmaloka, but I want to find Madhu Gopal. You know, he says, okay. So he further elaborates on the chanting of this mantra. Apparently can touch different parts of your body. There's different gestures to enhance the chanting. So it's a good lesson for us that Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasada, Yasya Prasada Nagati Katopi. Without the mercy of the spiritual master, one cannot get the mercy of the Lord. So he says that you always chant this and meditate on the beautiful form of the Lord, especially the lotus feet, and you attain everything that you need. So he chants his mantra and he starts shooting past all these planets that he's already been to. And because of this chanting of this mantra, he can see the temporary, useless nature. You know, what was it? Flight of fancy, is that right? That term. Flight of fancy. That, or will of the wisp, they say, or a flower in the sky. The enjoyment, even to the heavenly planets, is completely useless. So he makes it beyond the universe. He makes it to the earthly cover. And there, the sense gratification, the enjoyment is 10 times greater than even on Brahmaloka. And there's all these things that you could enjoy that's not available in the universe. And the presiding personality there is Bhumi Devi, the goddess of earth. And she's worshipping the Lord, Virahadev. So we know this pastime of when the earth was submerged into the Govardhana ocean, and then the Lord came through and deep into the nether region and picked up the earth and placed it in its orbit again. That's her worshipful Lord, Virahadev. And the goddess is saying, yes, please stay. We'll enjoy here. You can worship the Lord. It's so nice to see you. He says, no, I will keep on going. And he kept going through all these 6 other layers. So in the fire layer, there's Agni, and he's worshipping Surya Narayan. In the water, there's Varuna, and he's worshipping Matsya Dev, the fish incarnation. And it keeps going like that. There's Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Vasudeva through all the layers. He makes it through all 8 layers. And then right at the end, it's like this blue, beautiful blue covering. Something like Sham's color, like this, the color of Krishna. Wow, such a beautiful place, so enchanting. And there, Prakriti herself, or Maya Devi herself, she's presiding there. And she's offering all these mystic cities to him, all the 8 mystic cities. And she worships her Lord, which is Mohini Murti. So, if you know who is Mohini Murti, The pastime comes from the churning of the milk ocean. I won't talk about too much because we'll go forever. But the demigods have lost their position in charge of the heavenly planets. And they made a truce with the demons that if we churn the ocean of milk, and we'll get the nectar and split the nectar of immortality. So they made a deal with them. So there's a whole thing. They have to put a mountain there. Some of them bones were crushed and everything. The Lord had to intervene every step of the way. They got this big snake with Vasuki, and that was for the churning. And the demons were on one side, the demigods on the other side. And they're churning this ocean of milk. First comes out is this poison. And what do? It's like killing everyone. So then they pray to Lord Shiva, and he drinks that poison. And it gets stuck in his throat, and that's why he's known as Nilakanta, blue-throated one. His throat turns blue. And so many, Lakshmi Devi appears, the moon appears, is Cheshvarya, the horse that's ridden by Bali Maharaj, Airavata, this four-tusked elephant that's ridden by Indradev. So many different things come out of this churning. Eventually, Dhanvantari, who's an incarnation of the Lord, he started Ayurveda. He's like the worshipful Lord in Ayurveda. He has this pot of nectar. The demons snatch it right away. And the demigod's like, oh no, what do we do? You know, they pray to the Lord, please help us. So the demons, they're fighting amongst themselves. Who should drink it first? You know, and the more stronger ones like, yeah, I'll drink it. No, I'll drink it. I'll drink it. The more weaker ones like, no, we should share, you know, please. So then the Lord appears as this beautiful lady, Mohini Murti. She's like perfectly formed. It's in the 8th canto. When I read this, and like, you're a brahmachari, you thought you wouldn't read such descriptions of a beautiful form like this. I was like, oh, what am I reading here? But such a beautiful form, and fully enticed the demons. Their lusty desires were fully, like, they say, oh, they try to enchant her. They try to, like, they want to be with her. And she goes, oh, you want to be? Yes, yes. Okay, then whatever I do or say, you won't protest. Of course not, Okay, give me the nectar. So they gladly hand her the nectar. And then the demigods were lining up on one side and the demons on the other side. And then Mohini Murti starts giving the nectar to the demigods. And they didn't protest because they don't want to make her angry. They were thinking, nah, she's just joking. She'll really give to us. And they were so enchanted. And beside in between the sun and the moon, one of the demons named Rahu sat on the other side and tried to get some nectar. And then poured some nectar in. And then she figured out, oh, wait a minute, this is Rahu, trying to sneak in. So with her Sudarshan chakra, with this disc, chops his head off. And every time there's an eclipse, because this Rahu is the enemy of the sun and the moon, that's Rahu trying to take over the sun and the moon. So Bhagavatam has so many things in there. So eventually the demigods get the nectar of immortality. The demons are cheated. And then there's a big fight. It kind of looks like Star Wars. Star Wars has nothing on it. Intergalactic battle takes place between the demigods and the demons. And eventually the demigods win, get the heavenly planet, and the demons many of them were like killed or broken. And it continues on there. Sukracharya makes sure that they have a comeback, but I'm not going to talk about that again. You can read it. It's very exciting. So Mohini Murti is that personality that bewilders the demons and favors the devotees. Same with the Bhagavatam, it's described that the Bhagavatam is like Mohini Murti because it's all this talk about devotional source and bhakti. But then at the end, Shukadev Goswami says, yes, you know the meaning? Yes, merge into Brahman. just to bewilder the demons, the non-devotees. Yes, see, I told you it says Brahman in your Bhagavatam. So, this is Maya Devi's worshipable deity. And Maya is asking Gopakumar, you can stay. Be with us. And, and he's like, no, okay, if you want liberation, just be kind to me and worship me. And if you want devotional service, I am the sister of Krishna, Subhadra. We see in Jagannath Rath Yatra, we have Krishna and Balaram, and in the middle Subhadra. She is also known as Yogamaya or Vaishnavi. And usually people worship her for material opulence. But for a devotee, she helps you come towards Krishna. She works both ways. Kind of like the police. When you're a criminal, you don't like the police. Why these guys give me a hard time? For what? I got some crazy fine on someone stole my van and they gave me a fine because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And the fine is still there after 1 year, Making me feel like a criminal, these guys. But if you're innocent, if you're a law-abiding citizen, the police are welcome. Oh, I feel safe, the police are here. So Maya's like that. If you're sincere and you engage in devotional service, she will let her release go. Devi esha gunamayi mamaya duratya. Mayatam mitanatanti. Mayatam tarantite. That this divine energy of mind consisting of 3 modes of material nature is very difficult to overcome. But when one surrenders unto me, it's very easily to overcome. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So Gopakumar, he wants Madan Gopal. So he keeps going. And he makes it to this super, it was like 1 million suns. He couldn't even see anything. It was so bright. And but the atmosphere of the place was so enchanting. He's like, wow, what is this place? It's so amazing. It's ecstatic, really. There's so much bliss here. And it's just bright light everywhere. So he's in the Brahmajyoti there. But it's not just light. We hear about, okay, they just merge into a light. They lose their existence. But no, there is a form of the Lord there called Mahakala. Very beautiful, bright, effulgent Lord there. And he's like, wants to worship him. And those who have merged into Brahman, they don't do any service. They're just happy to be like this sparks of light, kind of like molecules from the sun. And they just remain in that state. And you can see them, the different individuals who are in the Brahmajyoti. So there's no such thing as there's personality everywhere. There's no place where you don't find personality. Like we look at this beautiful nature here in New Govardhana. And it's amazing. It's in the Bhagavatam. It says, any beauty you see in this world is simply the smile of Krishna. And the beautiful singing of the birds is his whisper. So if you hear the birds singing, you think Krishna's whispering to you. So, there's one pastime with Srila Prabhupada and his disciples in the beginning. He used to stay at Dr. Mishra's office, and he had like a retreat center in nature. And Prabhupada and his disciples were invited there. And because they're from New York City, so they're always surrounded by a city, and they want to sleep outside under the stars. And there was a beautiful sunset, and I think it was Haiguru who said, just like a painter, painting strokes is like beautiful different colors into the sky, like this. And then he told Prabhupada this, being very poetic. Prabhupada says, we're not concerned with the beauty of the painting. We're concerned with the beauty of the painter, of the creator. So this is, if we can see, okay, there's some beauty there. But imagine that person now who's the source of all beauty. Imagine the most beautiful person in the world that you can, even within your mind, the most beautiful person. Still, they will not come close to the beauty of Krishna. This big lotus petal eyes, stretching out. He's total. The Gopkumar was meditating on the beautiful toenails of the Lord, who were like mother of pearl, and there's effulgence emanating from there. And that's what when he was in this effulgence, he felt like he was being merged in. But because of this meditation, he didn't merge. And then he took him further. And he ended up in Kailash, the abode of Lord Shiva. So he saw this like effulgent personality, look like camphor, like when it's burning. That's very nice descriptions. And he's covered in snakes because his worshipful Lord is Anantasesha. And Anantasesha is known as the jewel case of the glorification of the Lord. He's always there, thousands of miles, and never reaches the end of the glories of the Lord. So he worships him. And he is there with Parvati, and Gopakumar doesn't know who he is. He's like, who is this personality, you know, with like 3 eyes and snakes all over his body? And then his son, Ganesh, you may know this demigod with the elephant head. And he says, well, this is the Supreme Lord. He's the father of all living entities, Bhutana. You know, you're here in his abode of Shivloka. And Lord Shiva's ecstatic because he's a devotee, Vaishnava Yatashambhu. He sees Gopakumar as this coward boy. He never changes his form. He understands. He's got like a flute in his pocket. He's like, stay with us. We can talk Krishna Katha. You play your flute. We'll have kirtan. Like, he's so ecstatic with Gopakumar who's arrived. But he's like, no, I need my modern Gopal. So he continues to chant his mantra. And then a Vaikuntha aeroplane appears. And these Vaikuntha buses are there. And the 4 arms, they have a form of like Narayan. And they said, yes, come with us. And it's like, there's like a discussion between Lord Shiva and the residents of Vaikuntha. And there's like an argument from the Gopakumar. After Brahmaloki, he went through, before Brahmaloki, he went through these 4 higher planetary systems called Mahatapa Jana Loka. They're like sages and sannyasis and brahmacharis reside there. And their whole thing is meditation on the Lord within the heart. Through your meditation, don't use your senses. You just keep the Lord and you think of him like that. You know. So then Lord Shiva asked the Vaikuntha, so in Vaikuntha, what do you do? They said, we just do Sankirtan. We just do Sankirtan. We just glorify the Lord. Really? But he said, but these residents in Tapaloka, they said that just by moving your tongue, you know, it's not enough. You have to really absorb your mind and consciousness and hold the Lord within. And the Vaikuntha Basis, they said, no, this is, you don't underestimate this chant, this like Sankirtan, this chanting of the congregational chanting of the holy name. Don't underestimate it. This chanting activates your super senses. Just like we're talking about karma is the development of material bodies. By doing bhakti, especially chanting the holy name, even though you're just moving your tongue, the super senses, the senses of the spirit soul, the spiritual body is activated. Material senses are purified and reveals your spiritual senses. Because Atashi Krishna Namadi Nama Bekgrana Minjire Sevamukhi Jivada Swameo Spratida. The senses are blunt. You cannot see spirit, you cannot see God. But by service with the mouth and tongue, the Lord reveals himself. So this is what Lord Chaitanya gave us. An activation process. The activation code of the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We can live in Vaikuntha here and now. Goloka Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. When the Harinam takes place, Goloka Vrindavan is there. We're there. We just had 1 week with schoolies. If you know schoolies, it's all these Australian high school kids. They go to surface paradise to drink, have sex, take drugs, and get alcohol poisoning, get their stomach pumped, or, lose their virginities and all that terrible things that Kali Yuga has to offer. And somehow we're there. A group of monks, celibate monks, who don't drink, who don't smoke. Yeah, let's go there. I was just in Vrindavan for 1 month, so it's like a big contrast, everyone's worshipping the Lord, there's prasadam everywhere, deities, everyone's a devotee, and then you come there. But for some reason, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, it cuts through all of Kali Yuga's offerings and temptations. Because that's the only good quality in this Kali Yuga. Kaladosha Nadira Jan, Eko Mahaguna, Kirtana Eva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Param Vajaya. This Kali Yuga is like an ocean of faults. Everything is faulty, everything is broken. This is good, no. And then you wait a while, it breaks. The only good quality is the chanting of Krishna's names. Then, Mukta Sangha Param Vajaya, you attain the supreme destination. And this has never been offered before. Only within this Kali Yuga where Lord Chaitanya appeared, that not only you attain Vaikuntha, Gopakumar, he keeps going past Vaikuntha. It's really hilarious what happens in Vaikuntha. So he's at the gate of Vaikuntha, and they said, Lord Narayan's gone out. Okay, all right, just wait here. And everyone has the same form as the Lord. So they fly down in their planes, and he just pays obeisance. Oh my Lord, he offers prayers, Lord Narayan, you've come. And they're like devotees, so they're like, no, I'm not the Lord. And they got like 4 hands, so they're all like, no. And he's like, oh, okay, it's not Lord, it's not the God. So they go inside. And he does it to every single person who walks in. But then finally the Lord comes, because he has this Srivatsa on his chest. This is a silver hair, golden hair, where Lakshmi resides. And this is the Lord. And the Lord is so happy to see him. Like, oh, it's a coward boy from Govardhana is here. Okay, please come. Like this. So he comes into like the assembly of Lord Narayan. And it's very awe and reverence there. He's like a king. And there's no really like close dealings there. And they're worshipping, glorifying him, pleasing him. And then when the Lord goes to his private quarters, Gopakumar, he's in the mood of Vrindavan. So everyone's glorifying, and he's going, Hey Gopal! Like this, And if all the Vaikuntha bus is taken away, sometimes like it may happen in the temple, like someone gets way too enthusiastic. It's nice, enthusiasm, but maybe it wasn't the right time. So you kind of take them away. It's like, see, there's like, you explain, there's like a temple, there's like certain etiquette, and so maybe like tone it down this time and relax a bit, So they did that to him. It's like, we don't address Narayan like this. We don't do this here, It's like, it's too casual. And then, so the Lord and Lakshmi Devi, they go into their private quarters, and he calls Gopakumar. He comes in. And Narayan is explaining to Gopakumar, it's like, yeah, this is Vaikuntha. I understand where you're coming from. You like Vrindavan, you love... I actually like this more. But, just the here, don't disturb them too much, So he wants to see Moran Gopal. So he continues on. He goes to Mathura, he goes to Dwarka. Mathura, he ends up in Braj, and then Goloka Vrindavan. And it's an amazing thing there that he appears in Vaikuntha, and then he sees the Krishna and the coward boys, Krishna and Balaram and the coward boys. And he's like, oh, it's my Lord, and he just sees him, but he's like stunned. But then Krishna, he's very active in the relationship. He's like, oh, he's in his original form. His name is Sarupa. And he goes, oh, Sarup, you've come. I missed you so much. And he's about to come towards him, but then he faints. And the cowboys are thinking, who's this guy? Is he like some demon, like, or something like that? And Balaram says, no, 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 he's related to Radharani. He's like, he's cool, you know. So then Balaram tells Sarup, it's like, wake him up, chant the holy name in his ear. And he chants the holy name, and then Krishna wakes up and embraces him. So then I remember His Holiness Kadamba Karmaraj was in Prague. He was saying this pastime. And then Vishnujan Prabhu was sitting right in the front. And he asked Vishnujan, because like we travel like over 100 countries. So he says, where's the best place to chant? You know, Vishnujan was put on the spot. I don't know, like, you know, Mexico. You know. And Maharaj says, no, the best place to chant is in Krishna's ear. So this is our goal. Not to develop another material body in this crazy prison. We're trapped. Don't think you're free. The way to freedom is through Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan movement. Through Harinam saying, this is real freedom. Every time I go on Harinam, I feel like I'm at home. This is my home. Doesn't matter, it could be in like a township in South Africa. It can be like in the middle of schoolies. But schoolies is something else. I highly recommend come one night when we go. These kids come running because they're after enjoyment. It could be anything because they're not in university, they're not working, they just finished school. So enjoyment could be any kind. Doesn't matter if it's religious or whatever, you know. And so they see us and we're just doing our thing, having a good time. They just come running. And they're like, yeah. So we have to match the energy. So usually like you do kirtan and something, like you start off slow, then you speed a little bit, then bring it back down again, then you speed up again like that. You kind of, with them, double time, you know, and they want more and more. And we have this sign and we make them chant, you know, with two words like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then they go crazy. We just double time again. And like we started counting how many backflips get done during schoolies, you know. Last year we had like 15 backflips. This year a bit low, it's like 4 or 5. And yeah, and then like you get some there's like some kids who just, they come every night. And like they're like really excited, like this girl, she just comes in with big eyes, she's like, like this. Yeah, and they do all their dance moves, and like, you know, and some devotees, they take them in a circle, or like they crouch down and jump up again. They want to hold the sign, you know. One year, like, and they actually worship the sign sometimes, you know. Like we point to the sign, they go, wait a minute, that's what they sing, that's the words, that's what's making it all happen, you know. So then like we point to the sign and they're like, Hare Krishna, like this, you know, worshipping the Maha Mantra, you know. They go, can I hold the sign, you know. So we let them hold the sign, and then they take selfies, and their friends are, look at me, I'm holding the sign, like this. And you know, and I was thinking, it's like, yeah, this is devotional service, because like if you go to Sri Rangam in South India, it's like pretty much like a city full of Brahmanas, and there's like this huge fort dedicated to Lord Ranganath. Beautiful form. He's lying down like this, huge. Like you to take darshan, you kind of have to look up, and you can't, like you come and you're at his belly, and you're like, where's the God, you know? Where is he, you know? And then you look up, and he's like looking down at you, like that. Very beautiful. And pretty much every single like corner or like, you know, carving, there's a story, you know, of why it's there. And they have like something like 360 festivals a year, and many of them involved with carrying the deity on a palanquin, and they have like different styles of Sometimes like an elephant walk or a horse walk, you know, like families, they grow up carrying palanquins. So these schoolies who are like destined to be like going deep within the prison of this material world, you know, to be trapped further and further, just got released, and even to the point where they can worship, carry the Lord in the form of the Maha Mantra. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Punasado Nicho Mukto Binatam Nami Namino. The holy name is like Chintamani, touchstone. You touch it, things turn to gold. You get whatever you wish for, the Maha Mantra can give you. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha is dynamic. It's alive. Rasa Vigraha has that rasa, that taste. Akila Rasa Mritamurti. Krishna is that complete form of that nectar that comes from loving relationships. Puna is complete. Om Punamadam Punamadam Purnam Punamadachate Punasya Punamadaya Puna Eva Vishishyate. Completely complete. He's the complete whole, and even so many complete units come from the Lord, and He still remains the complete balance. You cannot. There's nothing lacking in Krishna in the holy name. There's nothing lacking there. You get everything you need. Punasudo, it's pure. Prophylactic. You touch the Maha Mantra, you become purified. Nam no hi yavati shakti papa ni harine hare tavat katam shaknoti patakam patakina. We did a retreat with Kadamba Kamaraj in South Africa, and he stated this verse, but he just kept singing the last line, patakam pataki naraha, patakam pataki naraha, patakam. So this verse means by just chanting the name of Krishna once, one can be purified of more sins he can commit in a lifetime. So these kids, not only were they chanting with us for 4 hours every night, it was Kartik. And we did one on Ekadasi too. So it's like a billion times. Setting themselves free. And they felt that freedom. And there was one particular boy, he followed us one night all the way to the end. And he admitted that, actually I was going to commit suicide. And then I saw you guys. And I just sang and danced with you. And this is the only thing that gives me meaning in life. And he followed us. We had like some Hare Krishna t-shirts with the Maha Mantra in the back. It said Hare Krishna Shripa. You got a t-shirt, you got the Gita, you got a few books. He's reading the Gita now, and we're in touch with him, so that's a success. Hopefully we'll send him here. He's only 17, but yeah, we'll send him. You can help. You already helped one person for me, so we'll send them all to you. And yeah, so we've done this since 2015. And, you know, Savyasachi was saying these are the flowers of the country. 20,000, 30,000 kids. They're all going to be like the next professionals, politicians, workers. You know, they could be leaders. So pretty much anyone, because in the 70s, we used to be on the street all the time. You know, you meet sometimes we go through country towns and we're doing Harinam, like, I haven't seen you in 30, 40 years, where you been, you know? And I'm like, I wasn't even there, you know, so you have to say I reincarnated, came back, you know. So anyone under like 25, they don't know what's Hare Krishna. They've never seen a Harinam. So this is first impression, it's going in. First impression's last. So they may not become devotee here on the spot there, but the next time they meet a devotee, it's going to be a positive experience. So not only do we have this opportunity to go to the highest realm of the spiritual world through Harinam Sankirtan, but we get to be an instrument of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Lord Chaitanya is known as Mali Chaitanya, this gardener Chaitanya. And he has these fruits of love of God, and he goes, I can't distribute it all. If I distribute, I'll be known as very pious, but I need help. So he's empowering us, you know, to become free and powerful, engage in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. Hare Krishna. Does anyone have a comment or a question? Cool. Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Nitya Go Premanande.